Welcome back to Cash and Sass, the podcast where we ditch the shame, talk real numbers, and build bold, bankable wealth without sacrificing who we are. I'm your host, Lisa Marie, fractional CFO, wealth mentor, and the sassy wealth queen behind Transcendent Wealth Company. If you're ready to scale with strategy, own your power, and finally feel wealthy in every sense of the word, then you're in the right place. We're going to get started. Today's episode is a must listen if you've ever looked at your income and thought, wait a damn minute. Why doesn't this feel like wealth? You're working hard, maybe even making decent money, but you're still overwhelmed, confused, or just straight up disconnected from your finances. I want us to change that. So let's change it, okay? In this episode, I'm breaking down my signature 5 wealth codes and the 3 profit leagues that quietly sabotage even the most high achieving women. This is your crash course in wealth alignment. And once you see these patterns, you won't unsee them. Ready? Let's get started. Okay, so what is true wealth? Wealth isn't just about revenue. I've worked with women earning 100K, 500K, even 1 million plus per year, and they still feel anxious and exhausted and unfulfilled. And the thing is, if you're building wealth without alignment, all you're doing is scaling stress. Real wealth is when your money, mindset, body, emotions, energy are all working in sync. That's where power lives. That's why I created the 5 wealth codes. So we're going to get into that, okay? So let's walk through each one. And I want you to listen for where you might be having some leaks. So the first one is spiritual wealth. This is about values and purpose. Are you honoring what matters most in your life and business? Or are you chasing someone else's version of success? Spiritual wealth says, I know who I am and I'm building from that place, not from pressure, not from comparison. So if your business model, pricing, or calendar is misaligned with your values, then that's not sustainable wealth. Emotional wealth. This is how you feel about your money. Do you feel guilt when you invest in yourself? Do you make financial decisions from fear or confidence? Emotional wealth is peace, it's clarity, it's trusting yourself with money, no matter how much or how little is in the account today. So, okay, there was first the spiritual wealth, right? That's your beliefs and your worthiness, okay? Your emotional is your feelings toward money, okay? So that's the emotional wealth. Your third wealth code, or the third wealth code I created, is mental wealth. This one's all about your thoughts and your mindset. So, your mindset, your beliefs, and your habits. Are your thoughts helping you grow, or are they actually keeping you small? Are you avoiding money because it stresses you out? And looking at it just sends all kinds of tightness and just inside your body? Or are you building rituals that actually will empower you? Mental wealth is the foundation for every financial decision you make. And honestly, it's time to clean it up, okay? Because without it, you're just going to stay stuck. The fourth wealth code is physical wealth. This is your energy and your habits and the state of your body, right? And your physical environment. Are you getting enough rest? How often do we push and push and push and we don't get the rest that we need, right? We're just going to keep going. Oh, I'll rest later, right? We have to remember is fueling your body in a way that supports you being a CEO is just very, very important. Or are you instead burning yourself out while pretending you're fine? How often have we done that? So then I want you to also look around, okay? Because this is something I have found. Is your space chaotic or calming? Because when we have spaces around us that are chaotic, it tends to make our life feel chaos too. And it also, I don't know, it just does something to it, right? Because physical chaos can lead to financial chaos, period, right? So one of the things that I've done is make sure that my surroundings is not all chaotic. Sometimes you can't help it, but as my mentor says, we get to decide to be the calm in the chaos, okay? So when there's chaos, let's be the calm and let's control what we can. And one of the things we can control is some of the things around us, right? Like immediately around us. Then we have financial wealth, and that's your last code. Okay. And this is all about actions and systems. Okay. This is the one that everyone focuses on. And they often feel like it's the one that has the issue and the only one that has the issue. And often they get it all wrong. It gets wrong. Financial wealth isn't just about making the money. It's knowing what to do with it. It's you knowing what you are doing with it. So it's making, managing, and multiplying. Okay. It's keeping profit. It's allocating revenue wisely. It's having a system and, yes, checking in often. So, because if you don't know what your money is doing, you're not leading it. It's just leaking out down the drain. And that's just chaos in itself, right? And so one of the things that we can do is we can decide how we're going to take control and how we're going to have those, okay? So, we have the 5 wealth codes. So, I'm going to go over them again before we go into the profit leaks, okay? So, the 5 wealth codes again are spiritual beliefs, which are your beliefs and worthiness, emotional, which are your feelings toward money, mental, which are your thoughts and mindset, physical, your energy and your habits, and financial, which are your actions and systems. Okay. So now we're going to go into the 3 profit leaks. This is how wealth starts slipping through your fingers, even if you're aligned in all of the areas or some of the areas. Okay. These 3 profit leaks can show up in any of the 5 wealth codes. And once you learn to spot them, you'll start being able to plug them. So, leak number 1 is your awareness of values. This is you being out of touch with what really matters to you. Or you say one thing, but your actions say something else. This could look like one of the other things is when you forget what truly matters, right? So money follows confusion, right? So if you're out of touch with what really matters to you, or you say something like, for example, saying yes to things that drain you, spending money to impress people you don't even like, hustling for validation instead of wealth. So a perfect example is I was given an opportunity to collaborate, and I really, really wanted to collaborate with this person. Okay. However, at the time, there was a lot going on during that month. And at first I said yes, which was something that was going to drain me. I mean, I immediately started feeling, oh my goodness, the stress, and looking at my calendar. I'm like, okay, and it felt very, very draining to think about having that on my calendar when my calendar for that month was already busier than normal is the only word I know to say. But it was already, there was just already a lot of things. And just adding that one more thing, it just didn't feel right. And so I needed to come back to my boundaries and to my values and go, wait, this is out of alignment for this month. This could be something later, but this isn't right for this month. That's being able to see those things. If I'd have said yes and I'd have still done it and kept doing it and not changed that to a no, because at first I had said yes, that was something that was going to drain me. Okay. And it, it wouldn't have been good. It would have turned out horrible. Right. And the last thing is hustling for validation instead of wealth. The thing is if your values aren't clear, your money will follow confusion, not conviction. So we've got to make sure that your values are very clear, okay? Link number 2, the attitude of abundance. This one's sneaky, okay? This is when your mindset is rooted in fear. So when your mindset is rooted in fear, opportunities dry up. So you can have money in the bank and you still operate from fear, guilt, or control. And this looks like underpricing because you're afraid clients will leave, hoarding cash because you don't trust yourself to make more, like you're afraid it's just going to disappear overnight, saying I'll invest later while your energy keeps draining you now. Here's the thing I want you to remember: abundance is an attitude, not a balance sheet. Okay. you can create abundance, right? And it's going to be how you think and how you feel and how you are looking at the things. So, having an attitude of abundance is really, really important. And a lot of times, this can be a very sneaky leak. You'll be saying something, but you're doing something else that's actually that attitude of abundance leak in that area. And that leak particularly needs to be plugged. Okay. The last leak, the third one, allocation of assets. This is where strategy meets sabotage. So if you're not allocating your time, energy, or money with intention, you're leaking wealth constantly, period. This looks like no budget. And yes, I know people think budgets are just for people who are broke or people who are whatever. Okay, that's not the case. Okay, call it a money roadmap, call it, um, you can call it whatever you want to call it. I call mine a money roadmap because I think of it as a GPS. I wouldn't get in the vehicle and drive somewhere that I'd never been before without the GPS on, right? Okay, well, the same thing goes with your money. When you have a budget, you have this compass, and you're in that budget, you're telling it where you want your money to go. So the budget isn't just for your everyday or every month expenses. It's for you to include the things that you want to be putting money up for. So it's important to have this budget so that you're able to do the things that you want to do. Okay. So get it out of your head that a budget isn't for you or only for certain people. A budget is a compass. It helps you be able to say, this is where I want my money going. And it helps you be able to allocate and basically allocate every single penny to where you're wanting it to go. Okay. So another allocation of asset leak that this could look like is no plan for paying yourself, which by the way would go on my money roadmap dashboard. I would make sure it's on there. That's how I work with my one-on-one clients, and Private Queen Partnership are part of that. No system for growing your money. You're just going to trust. Trusting and manifesting is great. And you also have to have some action for it. Okay. So the constant hope for the best energy, but you're not having any strategy behind it. Hope is not a strategy. Okay. Yes, it's great to manifest. And yes, pray and hope, all those things, and have a strategy behind it so that you know what's going on with your money. Because if you don't know what's going on with your money, you guarantee you're going to have an allocation of asset leak. I'll bet money on it. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want you to understand the values of or the formula that I came up with and what I did. So wealth alignment will equal the codes, so the wealth codes minus the leaks plugged. So awareness of values plus attitude of abundance plus allocation of assets equals wealth alignment. When you have those areas and don't have leaks and they're all you're in alignment in all of those 5 wealth codes, you're going to be in wealth alignment. You're going to be able to live as wealthy because you're going to be in alignment. You're not going to have these leaks and you're going to bring the money in. That's the magic. It's magic. That's where the magic happens. That's the foundation of every program I offer, every client transformation I've supported, and every strategy I teach. When you get aligned, you become unstoppable. Your income grows and it feels safe and it feels fun and it doesn't feel hard and stressful. Okay. And who wants to do those things when they feel hard and stressful? I know I don't. And I lived that for years. And until recently, it's just no way to live. So I, I practice this daily. I teach this daily. Okay. You can make bold moves without second guessing because you know what's going on with your money and you're in alignment and you're checking for these leaks. You're staying in tune to it all. You stop playing small and you start leading with intention, which is really, really, really important. Yes, trust your intuition, absolutely, and lead with intention. Okay. So I want us to go back over all all of those things just one more time, okay? So, your 5 wealth codes are spiritual, which are beliefs and your worthiness. Emotional is feelings toward money. Physical is your energy and your habits. And financial is actions and systems. And then the 3 money leaks that you can have in any of those 5 wealth codes, okay? Awareness of values. And this is when you forget what truly matters because money will follow confusion, not conviction, okay? Attitude of abundance. This is when your mindset is rooted in fear. And when that happens, or guilt, right? When that happens, your opportunities dry up and it can be very sneaky because you can say and think one thing or you're saying one thing, but actually the actions are speaking totally different than what you're saying. And that attitude of abundance is in it that becomes a leak. And then the last leak is allocation of assets. And this is when your time and energy or money go everywhere except where they create growth and you feel drained. Okay. That's a huge leak. And it can be a leak in any of those 5 wealth codes. All 3 of these can. So if this hit home for you, I want us let's take this deeper. Okay. Book a free wealth alignment call with me. And in 30 minutes, we'll uncover your biggest leak, identify where your codes are out of sync, and map out your next powerful move. One that actually feels good and grows your wealth. You can find the link in the show notes. And until next time, remember, confidence and cash are the ultimate power duo. Go check in with your money. And as always, have a fantastic and wealthy day.